All right, Arjun, over to you.
Okay, so my 10 learnings were, first of all, understanding my target audience slash customer. I thought this is very important as we can understand what our target audience wants and what problem they have. Then was idea generation. This was good because we could like find out what ideas like we can like get inspired from, such as like nature and all. Then after that, idea evaluation. This was to see how valid idea was and to see if it's like meeting like stuff with like our customers and all. Then was segmentation. So this is like categorizing your customer group, and this can happen through geography, demographics, psychographics, behavior, benefits, and stuff like that. Then after that was targeting. This is deciding which potential customers have interest in your product. Then there was niche targeting, and this is the business of like promoting and selling a product or service to a specialized segment. And I thought this was very important for like business that's like very new. Then was types of entrepreneurs. I thought this was really good, so that I could like take inspiration from like one of them. Um, the types are makers, merchants, magicians, mobilizers, and masters. Finally, the last two were the disrupt model and the matrix analysis. And those are my learnings.
Rohan, you take it. Then we can move.
Very nice.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, this session was truly a new session for me, and it was really nice and gave me insights on different things which I didn't know about. The most important thing was mind mapping, which I like that idea a lot because that one thing can generate lot more of ideas. Second thing, learn how to understand the psychology of customers and your target audience, and I should know who my target audience is, so that I can know how to make use of them for benefits of the startup. It gave me a realistic approach towards things, um, and I learned always to accept challenges and take the road not taken. Um, then design, especially design thinking, gave me a approach. This gave me a kind of approach where I didn't think of often. It gave me a different approach to solve problems, and it was really nice ones. Thank you.
Thank you. Please tag the next person.
I tag Amulya.
The first one was how to make a pitch, like how to speak while making a pitch, because during the feedback session with Ms. Yogita, we learned how to say our points and what to consider and include while making the pitch. Like, you gave us a list of what should be included. And when you told us like how ideas are found for like how entrepreneurs find ideas, it's finding gaps in your daily routine, which was led from the thought that you can find inspiration from your day-to-day activities. And we learned like the disrupt model and the matrix rating system, and how to lead from your solution, you go back and find the problem, and how from your how from the problem you'd need to find a solution and things. We've learned both ways. And I also learned the steps to throughout this. We actually went through a bunch of steps which I didn't realize until I was writing these down. We went from the idea bank. After choosing what we want, after choosing one, we made a mind map. After that, we used the matrix, and now we're making a pitch. And one thing that stuck with me was that the niche point, and how entrepreneurs prefer to use that, like they mentioned in the video. I tag Shreya.
So these are the 10 learnings I have learned from the course. I have learned that entrepreneurship involves a journey where you learn from your mistakes.
Shreya, you're not clear. Sorry, bache.
Now
It's echoing.
I think I'll go later.
Okay, someone else take by the time Shreya comes back. Kavya?
Okay, so I learned firstly that you have to seize opportunities because something's always not going to be right, and you have to go ahead and believe in yourself. Which brings me to my second point, that you have to trust the process. Every day is a new day in entrepreneurship. Third is business is a good, like in business, problems are kind of a good thing because along with design thinking, you can always come up with a solution. The disrupt model was like, I found it so interesting. I went and told my parents and we had so many discussions on it. I also learned how to evaluate ideas because the number of ideas that you have are endless, but there's always one or two that would be better than the others, and to find that is very important. Listen to your mentors, they always know better than you do. I used to think that coming up with ideas was really difficult. And I remember one of the homework was come up with 10 ideas. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? I can't remember anything. I can't think of anything. But then taking inspiration from your surroundings, and when we saw videos of different entrepreneurs, it's as easy looking around you. Lastly, believe in yourself, your passion. If you truly believe that something is good, don't let anyone tell you that it's, unless it's constructive criticism, then you do. But if it's like not, then don't take it. And lastly, I met so many people that I would have otherwise never met. My teammates were very nice, and everyone else here too was.
Great.
I'm gonna tag grade 3.
Okay, so I learned a lot during this process, especially in the end, how we were supposed to come up with groups and make our own ideas. Through those group work, I learned how others can have other perspectives, and how through others they can find problems, and even what we think right is not always right. And then how we worked on PPTs and you give your feedbacks, and it did help me a lot. And through the design thinking process, we could make our huge idea into small steps, and through those steps we can have a successful startup or a business. And then there were various ways on how we can have a good business, and then how we can start. And we should always like, one important point what I always learned through all the things was always know what your customer wants and what's the customer's need, and it was one of the very important points I thought. And then also we learned customer discovery, how to segmentation, targeting, and then always the types of data you're supposed to know. First, always know what your customer wants, and then through that you can make modulations to your product or whatever you're launching. And then types of data like secondary, primary, and how through surveys, through various things, you can get to know what others want and what their need is. And through their needs you can provide much better facilities. Yeah, I think that's what I learned. I would like to tag Path.
So from the whole workshop learning, I learned that I can even say a small thing in a big value if I changed its idea or add some ideas in it. So in this course, I learned the most learning part for me was all the examples of the third people who gave us the examples, and the most inspiring one was the producer of the Ultimate Spider-Man. So next I would tag is Eva.
You like the Spider-Man one, right? The producer of Spider-Man. Yes,
Yeah.
Parth? Excellent.
So I learned lots of techniques about entrepreneurship, and it really helped me think of things from a more entrepreneurial perspective. Also, I was able to comprehend real life situations again in that kind of perspective. And I've learned so many different techniques like design thinking and the disrupt model. And it's been really interesting because it's helped me converse with also a lot of people. Like I understand more what they're saying because a lot of the people I know talk about this stuff. So that was really helpful. And again, it was really fun coming up with your own idea and the whole process of making the PPT and the website and all that. I tag Arjun.
I'd spoken already.
Arjun is done. Anjali?
Sorry.
Nobody.
Yeah, okay. I learned about how to believe in yourself and your idea, and how to build upon an idea using mind mapping and matrix analysis. I also learned that ideas can come from anywhere. We learned about design thinking and the disrupt model as well. And lastly, we learned how to present your business idea, which we're going to be doing today.
Right. Thank you. Shreya?
So these are my 10 learnings from this course. I have learned that entrepreneurship is a journey where you learn from your mistakes. You learn to deal with ambiguity and failure. Even when an entrepreneur does not have the required resources, capital, or labor, they can always be successful when driven with their passion and strong dreams. We have learned different tools, the decision matrix analysis, brainstorming, and mind maps. I have learned that we should not jump to conclusions and assume what our target audience need. We need to research and conduct surveys in order to get their perspectives. We have learned an equation, problem plus design thinking gives you solutions. And I've also learned the different types of entrepreneurs, the magician, the merchant, the mobilizer, and the
Maker.
and the maker. And I have learned that confidence is an important key in a business environment. We have also learned different myths of an entrepreneur. Thank you. I tag Kashmi.
This workshop was very insightful, and I learned a lot of new things. One of the first things I learned is that you have to be willing to take risks and be confident, and that you have to believe in yourself. And in the business world, there's nothing that is right and there's nothing that is wrong. So everything's right, but you have to think of it in a different perspective. And during the customer analysis and everything, I learned to think from the customer's perspective and everything. So it helped me think outside the box and think of something that has different uses, which we use the mind map tool for. I tag Akshara.
Yeah, so to start off, this entrepreneurship program was very useful to me. It's a very new experience because I've never been to workshops like this before. Provided a very useful insight on into the world of business. And to start off with what I learned during this week, we learned how to target audience and about the segmentation process, which was very useful for us when we were trying to create a presentation. And we brainstormed, which was really fun. I also learned to identify the missing element in society, which is the key for successful business. And we learned about the disrupt model and mind maps and matrix analysis is what we used in the PPT too. We learned about niche marketing and that geography matters. We also learned about types of entrepreneurs, and I also learned a lot about trusting in the process because everything seems so hard in the beginning and it's very demotivating. So I think that taught me a lot and brought me along with it.
Chanakya.
I like to start off by saying that the experience overall has been very nice because I've been to a commerce course, and then it's finally good to be, putting the theory into application. So that's a very good thing that I learned. That was one of my learning. The second thing was I learned that when you're starting out a business or an entrepreneurial venture, you can't expect everything to go smooth sailing. There will be problems. There will be times where, things go south, but you need to be invested in the idea. You need to believe in yourself and handle the issues that come about. Apart from that, I also learned a lot of business ethics, such as treat every customer as your first customer. Make sure that no customer is cheated. And if there is any fault on your part, don't put it upon your subordinates or someone as your colleagues. Take it, own the responsibility, and make sure that you correct it in the future. Well, apart from that, I learned how to, go through the entrepreneurial process, whether first is formulating your idea, conducting research and all of that. All of that has been an enriching experience because everyone has ideas, right? But no one knows how to put forward that idea and how to make sure that the idea, comes into the market or, some sort of way in which it can be in a form of, a materialistic form.
So when we go through the process, we know that this is not something that can be done overnight. It's something that involves a lot of work, a lot of research. And I also learned that it's very easy to think that if you can have a go at it alone, but you're also very codependent, not only on you but also on other people, whether it's your colleagues, whether it's the market suppliers, and a lot of it's not very easy to do. So these are my 10 learnings that I learned through this program.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. This is amazing. I think we also in this process learn from you. Your shyness, your introvertness, your expression, your emotions, your happiness have made us what we are able to do today with you and with many such budding entrepreneurs.